Welcome back to the Lemon Factor. I'm Chad, and today I'm here with one of our two project cars, the 2019 Honda Accord 2.0 Touring. And we are ready to start testing the air intakes for this car. So if you're a new joiner, in a previous video not long ago, I put together a list and identified a whole bunch of different air intakes available for the 10th generation Honda Accord. Following that video, I purchased a whole bunch of air intakes for this car so that we could test them out. We could test them for sound and we could test them for performance. So I intend to install the various air intakes, take them to the dyno, have them dyno tested to see how much horsepower and torque we're gaining from this modification. In today's video, I am going to put a fresh OEM air filter in our car so we can start with a nice clean filter. We'll dyno that. Then I'm going to replace the OEM filter with the PRL Panel Filter. We're going to see how much horsepower can be gained from replacing the stock air filter with a less restrictive air filter. Then the PRL Stage 1 air intake. I'll show you quickly how to install the PRL Stage 1 and we'll put them on the dyno. In between each run, I am going to leave about 5 to 10 minutes so the car can cool down. I am going to look for the ECT, the engine coolant temperature, to cool down to roughly 177 to 179 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I am looking for our intake air temperature to cool down to a number that is fairly consistent across the runs. So if you're interested in seeing how much horsepower can be gained from a replacement high flowing air filter or from the PRL Stage 1 air intake system, then stay tuned. Before we continue, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. That way, you're made aware of future video uploads and you won't miss the follow-on videos for this air intake install, sound, and dyno measurement series. So let's start off with the replacement of the OEM air filter. So we'll flip this clip. There's another one over here. You're going to pull forward and up. Now you got to be careful here. This is your MAF sensor and the cable is connected with the green clip right here. You can either remove that clip or keep it in place. Just don't tug on it too hard. So here's that clip. Don't tug on this too hard. You can replace it without removing it, but if you're not comfortable, you can pinch that and remove that to give you a little bit more clearance. Here's why we pulled forward and lifted up. These two insert down here, which is difficult to see, but here's your air filter. So I have a brand new air filter. I'll leave a link in the description below where you can purchase these. And it simply drops in. Insert the tabs into the holes in the back. There you go. And then push down. Let's hold it in place. Flip these clips up. And that's it. So now we have here the PRL panel filter replacement. Again, I'll leave a link in the description below where you can purchase this. This is not a dry filter. This is an oiled filter, and you can feel that and probably see a little bit of the oils on the edges. There's the top, there's the bottom. Let's compare that to the OEM. Now, obviously, they're going to be the same size on the top in order to fit into the OEM box. But other than that, you can see the pleats are a little bit different. The pleats themselves, though, are much deeper on the OEM than in the PRL. There's going to be more filtering capacity in the OEM because of the deeper pleats. You also have in here, I don't know if you can see, a wire mesh. The install of the PRL panel filters, just like the OEM, it should fit right into place. This one, unlike the OEM that just drops in, this is a little bit more snug. Make sure it's recessed all the way in place so you have that filtering. For the PRL Stage 1 air intake, it replaces the OEM air filter, which we've done. It also replaces this section of the OEM air intake with a much smoother, freer flowing section. So what we're going to do is we need to remove this by loosening this clamp and this clamp. We're also going to have to disconnect this section up here and the section over here, so these hoses, and replace it with the PRL. You can see inside here, this is so much smoother. Gives you a replacement. This will go in here and attach via the clamp. We'll reattach our hoses. And PRL includes new clamps, so you don't have to reuse the OEM. So you have two, one for each end. And then you have these two smaller ones for these two attachments. How much horsepower and torque can you gain by simply replacing the stock OEM air filter with a less restrictive panel air filter? At least with the PRL panel air filter replacement, we saw no gains whatsoever. And quite frankly, there's no change in sound either. However, if you want to spend the roughly $50 or so for the PRL, K&N, or any of the other panel air filters out there, you may do it for cost reasons. Over time, you can clean that air filter, which means you're not buying a new one. And probably after 2 or 3 instances in which you would have replaced the stock OEM, you probably would have paid for the panel air filter itself. Now jumping to the PRL Stage 1, we didn't see any horsepower or torque gains. Now, actually, let me take that back. We did see maybe 1 wheel horsepower. To me, that is not a gain. That is not consistent with what PRL has advertised. In addition to that, the change with the filter and the intake did not change the sound. So this was the first video of a handful of videos in which we're going to be doing this. The next videos, remember, I have the Mishimoto air intake, I have the Takeda, the AFE Takeda air intake, and I have the PRL high volume air intake. And those are more complicated because they are removing the factory air box and replacing it with a new box, as well as replacing the panel air filter with a cone filter. Maybe that combination will see some gains in horsepower and torque, and maybe we'll find that the sound is improved. So if you haven't done so already, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you're made aware of those future videos. As always, I put these videos together so that you have the information you need to make an educated decision on what performance modifications are right for your project car. Thank you again for joining, and until next time.